Sagittarius, welcome to your October reading and back to the channel for those of you who are returning, and to those of you who are new, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we're going to talk about the next month ahead for you, the overall general energy, what you may not see coming. We'll also get a lot of messages here, advice from spirit, all the good stuff. I want to get some central themes going on through oracle pull or two before we get into your deep dive in your tarot spread. It's a pleasure to read for you all today, and thank you for your patience. And thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Sagittarius. All right, Sag, let's see. What are you moving through at this time and beyond? We're taking a look at the next month's scope. What is the central theme for Sagittarius, or themes, whatever wants to come out? Whatever wants to come out for Sagittarius, Spirit. All right, first one out. We've got, if I can put my glasses on here, go beyond survival mode. Some of you have been in deep survival mode. Time to come out of that. Could be a welcoming back to center, grounding in a newer foundation of peace and balance. All right, if you've been trying to create more balance, it's time to come out of survival mode, okay? Maybe that might be part of the purpose of this year. I'm looking at the numerology of 9. So this is a big lesson that you're trying to integrate this year, is maybe coming out of survival mode, whether that's in an existing connection, in your family dynamics. It could be even around money. We also have meet your ancestral shadow here. Ooh, some of you have been doing deep shadow work. Now we have 9-9. Ooh, something could be coming full circle in your karmic patterns, in your karmic lessons around scarcity and survival. Maybe you inherited those limiting beliefs. Maybe you've been trying to break pattern around those things. It's being highlighted this month, okay? Let's get the last one. So we have 9-9 coming out. Interesting. Something could be coming full circle. Oh my goodness, we have another 9. Whoo! Wow, Sagittarius, we have 9-9-9. Go beyond survival mode, meet your ancestral shadow, and develop familial compassion. Some of you have some healing to do with a female in your life. We have 2 women embracing here. Family, okay? This could be sisters, mother and daughters. It could be your relationship if you have a female child. There's a healing. This could be a healing around your own divine feminine as you honor and embrace your inner child. This could be with a female friend, all right? There's a reckoning with maybe some shadow work that you've been doing with another female in your life, it looks like, for those of you tuning in, where you no longer want to approach this experience from a shadowy place. Maybe it brought up a lot for you to heal your interactions with this individual. Again, it does feel like it's a female in particular. And it's time to exercise more compassion for this individual, or you're going to experience more compassion coming from someone that may be unexpected. Maybe you were dealing with someone that was in their shadow, or you were in your shadow. There's definitely this, let's move on beyond that, all right? Out of that survival mode of operating, so we can heal and have this kind of goes with the weekly energies, honestly, which I'm not surprised, because we are entering a time period karmically as we wrap up this big number 9 year, and you're showing us you're at the end of a cycle where maybe you had to meet some of your ancestral shadow elements in your feminine, divine feminine, matriarchal line. Whatever you're trying to break pattern with or regarding, it has a lot to do with loving and relearning how to honor your own worth and value, coming out of scarcity or lack based on maybe some of the things you inherited from the women in your family. All right. Let me get a few. Interesting. Let me get a few more. We're going to wait on these. Okay. Yeah. I will just say, from what I'm seeing, that you're in transition and you're trying to do the right thing in a situation that has not been peaceful. It's been hard for you to have faith in a situation that went upside down in a connection. And now it's time to drop the armor, okay? And still honor your boundaries, of course. But there's something about if you have felt like you've had to be heavily guarded, there's something about dropping your guard and integrating a level of peace, speaking truth, as you reorient your true wealth, which will always be source, into your psyche, into your lineage, and heal. All right, big energy, Sag. Having compassion for some of your family, soul family members, doesn't have to be your blood family. Just having compassion for everything. A good stance. I see it as a very mature, enlightened stance you're taking on the path at this time. Let's see where your current and crossing energies are. I'll read those in a minute. Current and crossing. Where are you at, Sag? Current and crossing. It's been a while since I've read for you. I've missed you all. My Sag family. I'm a Sag rising, so I see the world through these eyes of adventure, unconvention, breaking the mold, breaking patterns, even regarding self as you sit in your Queen of Cups energy. Love, female love, right? This is coming from your soft, sweet, vulnerable side. What's crossing you? Oh, okay, yes. You've been at a crossroads about nurturing yourself in a deeper way or nurturing others in a deeper way or calling for a truce. It's weird. I don't usually get this from the Two of Swords, but I'm like, okay, time for a truce, time out. Let me go back to my heart. And what does my heart say? There's something about a choice that you're facing now where it's important for you to listen to what your heart is telling you. What are your feelings indicating around maybe a block or a big decision that you need to make? Crossroads time. This is air energy over water. As you can see, the Queen of Cups has her feet in the water. It's stirring a little bit, right? But she's trying to become emotionally stable, emotionally sovereign, and find peace, right, in her choices. So I feel like you have a choice to lead with love in something. Maybe it is a connection where there has been considerable shadowy elements coming up and around a survival way of operating with another or with self. Let's see what the overall general energy is. Oh boy, we've got some Scorpio energy here coming in. We have a Tower, maybe a surprising change, a sudden upheaval, epiphany. It could be you going in a new direction you didn't see coming. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I can already tell, Sag. All right, opportunity, 10 of Swords, okay. This, for lately for me, we could read this in lots of ways in the tarot. Any of you watching this, you're avid, either expert or novice tarot readers yourselves. What do you think? I really want you to check in with yourself when you hear me. What does the 10 of Swords mean to you? Because your opportunity is to take a look at that this month. For me, tarot is an evolving landscape, okay? It is. It's a living, breathing, archetypal force. And what the 10 of Swords has been speaking to me lately, it has to do with the end of suffering. First, can you believe that could be possible for you? I actually read something this morning earlier about how we need to take responsibility for how we contribute to our own suffering. I do believe you can look at something and say, this is pretty devastating. I think you're looking at maybe coming out of something that maybe you felt was ruined and a way to heal it, because that's what the Queen of Cups does. She heals all. She forgives. She has love and compassion. So as I tip my hat to you, I want to tell you you're dealing with some pretty intense energies this month of coming out of betrayal, maybe multiple betrayals. This could be coming out of a deep period of suffering. And a huge shift in the energy here. The challenge is happiness. That's what you want, Sag. Maybe you've had some things that have been very brutal for you to move through, and you are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? There's a big shakeup going on in your heart. Maybe you're breaking open in ways you didn't expect, and you're seeing things differently. It's what it feels like, a foundational shift. Ah, love it. This is amazing. You all are embracing your emotionality. You're embracing your Queen of Cups, the divine feminine, the love for all beings, the love for self. Love heals all. So there's something about remembering and returning to love this month and honoring this gorgeous energy during Libra season, Empress energy. I've got just a little, it's so cute. I've got a Pomsky and I've got just a dangle of a wolf hair. Interesting how that was there. It could be symbolic of maybe there's something primal coming from within you. This almost primal yell, screaming for change. You're like, I've had it. I don't want this path. I'm going to make a big change. It could be what some of you are saying or someone around you is saying. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, my dears. 5 of Pentacles. They said pull 2 more. 5 of Cups. 4 of Pentacles. You have definitely suffered, honeys. This is the card of, feeling alone. Experiencing grief. Feeling like if you're scared to invest. This could be somebody you're dealing with. It could be you. There's definitely something you're moving through and you're letting go of. And it truly is a letting go of lack, a letting go of looking at the world through a lens of betrayal. This is sometimes when I see people coming out of a very difficult, painful cycle, karmic cycle, where there's a lot that you've had to learn about self-love and prioritizing your own needs and not forsaking, right, your own happiness for others. Because usually when we get to a Ten of Swords experience where it's the end of suffering, you're having to deal with the suffering itself and reconcile the wounds, reconcile the hurts, because we can't store it. We can't hold on to it and expect to be healthy and whole and show up in the world in the best possible way. And I think that you're like, okay, I'm going in. I'm diving in. And this, you could be looking at your relationship with a mother wound. This could be your relationship with just prosperity in general, or your own level of happiness. I can't wait to clarify. This is a very deep alchemical process you're going through where you are elevating in your frequency. You cannot get to a place of elevation without, it's like the one hitch for you has been something going on in your heart. It's like, it just keeps, this is when we have maybe even a romantic history of not putting ourselves first and recognizing our value and worth and not being, an overgiver or a people pleaser. All of the shadow sides of Libra, right? Of Libra season, when it is unjust, it is unfair. I feel like you want to come out of suffering, or someone around you wants to come out of suffering. And there's this almost like this reclamation of power in your Empress energy here moving forward. But it's almost like a sacrifice. Something is sacrificed here for you to elevate. This is very interesting. I want to get now, I feel like we need to read some of these other energies towards the end that I picked up on, but it is coming out of a period of unrest, dropping the shield, being a beacon of truth, and moving between one cycle into a new one. What are you manifesting here in the month of October? New practices. Okay. And if I can get my fingernail there, self-care. Ooh. And then connecting ideas. I like this. There's a bridge going on this month of heart healing. As you can see here, look at, it's almost like a Saturn ring around the heart. And Saturn is the Lord of Karma and our most difficult lessons. It's the father teacher. So I think you're looking at some deep karmic lessons that you've signed up for in the month of October and reconciling them, making peace with them, moving through them. And what does it all teach us? A lot of these karmic lessons, it teaches us about our own pathway of self-love and forgiveness towards other people, towards their actions or inactions, towards their words. And I do think that you have new practices that you've been launching or initiating. I am dedicated to my visions. You could be envisioning either I'm seeing a new way of being. This is foundational, fundamental shift in the way you are integrating your heart code, your resonance, heart resonance, and almost like turning up the volume of your heart. And that's going to become a beacon for what you seek is seeking you. But if you are hiding your heart away, that's a really good Brandi Carlile song, by the way, back in the day, God, where, through her own pain and suffering, which the Scorpio energy is, being addicted to a cycle of pain and having a hard time letting go of that. This is when we almost get seduced by life's trials and we can't get out of that cycle. So it feels like this month we have the card number 22 into 5 into 2. So we have 222 with the card of 5. This is having faith and trusting the process. As you actually connect new ideas, you're going to be connecting with new energies that are going to be guiding you to your destiny this month. But it's like a turning of the tide for you, Sag. There's something that is being eclipsed out of your life. It could be a way of operating, could be an actual person. We're going to get clear in a minute. But what it's all guided you to see and to deepen is nourishing your soul with love and respect and being dedicated to your visions, okay? It's time for you to connect to new ideas that are allowing you to connect easily with energies that are guiding you to your destiny. All right. So new practices, self-care, and connecting ideas are going to take center stage. I cannot wait to get into this tower. This is a very big shift. This is when change, drastic shakeups. It's like, I didn't see that coming. But it's all, just want you to know it's leading you towards your destiny. So trust what's unfolding. And a big energy for the week and moving throughout the month of October is align and flow. Align and flow. Whenever you feel out of balance, align and flow. And these new practices are going to be paramount. So if you have been in survival mode and you have not been taking care of yourself, this is the time to come back into harmony with self, with your schedule, with your pace, with your perspective of the past, with everything. This is deep integration work we're moving throughout the month of October with. All right, let's look at the tower, though. Let's look at some of the situational energy. The moon. All right. The 8 of cups. The 2 of swords. Huh. There's that crossroads again. This is kind of a should I stay or should I go? Like something fell apart for you, Sag. And I think that you've been sitting there. This is, when something comes crumbling down in our lives. And you're sitting there long enough to actually see the moon shadow. This deep shadow work. And you're looking at all the emotions that are left behind. And you're like, I need to deal with this. This is when you need to be gentle with yourself over some of the things that have happened to you. And making this decision to let go, to release some of the emotional baggage. All right. That's the goal this month. Whatever has built up karmically for you, especially around your soul bonds and shadow work. All right. Especially around scarcity and survival mode. I think that it's time for you to employ these new practices of self-care. And what that means is actually looking at what you're hanging on to. I think that too, when the moon is out, it illuminates the darkness. It illuminates the shadow. So there's like this deep shift in you recognizing the shadow work that you've been it's like graduating from a timeline where you had to deal with repetitive situations that made you see parts of yourself that needed to be witnessed, held, validated, and healed. I want to keep going. But the overall general energy speaks to me that you're deciding, okay, you could have felt like you were blocked from going one way or another. And this month you're going to be choosing a path. And that path really is the opportunity to be happy again. And what is that going to mean? It means you're going to have to let go of some of this baggage. Come what may. Or someone around you is going to have to. It feels like a half of you, relates to you, and the other half, relates to someone else. This could be a secret revealed too, a surprising secret revealed, and the emotional fallout from that, and a choice that needs to be made between this way, or this person or that person. It's between two things, or two places, or two directions, or two people. Let's look at the 10 of Swords. This is a fascinating one. Oh, now we have the Lovers. And now we have the Magician and the 6 of Wands. This is triumph after pain. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Okay, I see. Something's coming in for you, Sag. This is shocking. It's like, this is when the tarot reader is like, I'm surprised. I was like expecting y'all, sorry, this might be a rough month for you in October. You can do some shadow work, okay? Come out of scarcity. Like, no, this is deeper than that. This is like, you've done that. You recognize where you have been in survival, scarcity, and now it's a return. It really is, like I said in the beginning, you're letting love in. There's a manifestation of a connection that is making you feel so excited and happy. It's almost like they came in. They came in while you were still sitting by the tower. It could be the person that created the tower, or it could be somebody else. But the opportunity here is to choose in the victory and the sweet success of a deep connection coming into your life, to almost like, what am I hearing? Take me away. Remember that song? To a higher place. Take me away. I can't remember who sang that, but I'm hearing that song. Maybe you want to hear that because it's really like ringing in my ear. Take me away to a higher place. Anyway, you were being taken away to love, to a connection that you have manifested, that you're going to feel really, really excited about. Interesting. It feels like a little bit of like this graduation over karmic connections where you were making choices where you weren't maybe always choosing from your emotional blind spot, where you were hoping for the best, swinging for the best, but kind of striking out. And now you've done a lot of work, right, to clear up and remove some blocks through self-love and self-care. And you're looking back at, everything that had to end for you to get to this point in your karmic destiny. See, you're aligning with your destiny here. And there's a new you in town with this Empress energy, honoring your divine feminine. I see you manifesting a deep, deep connection. And that is your opportunity to choose happiness. For this, it's like you've done a lot of integration of light and shadow, but you've had to go through betrayal. You've had to go through loss. You've had to go through ruin. But there's almost like this resurrection of love in your heart, and you riding high and triumphing because of a deep, deep bond coming in that you have manifested. This is like a huge shift. This could be a huge turnaround in a connection where the love is returning, okay? Where maybe you thought it was like, done, sayonara, goodbye. There's like an unexpected healing around something in your life. Let's see this Sun. Seeing the light is a challenge. Understanding why it all happened is a challenge. Ooh, now we have sovereign energy, 9 of Pentacles. This is, over the 10 of Swords. Dang, Sag. This is fascinating. Judgment. Ooh, yeah. You've really been like clearing up some karma, which is really just cause and effect, okay? This is like when we make choices and we don't really realize what's going to happen. And then we sit with those happenings, which is basically effect, and go, okay, I'm not happy with this one this time. Let me do it differently next time, because we get lots of practice. And you're basically practicing with what does it mean for you to call on connections that are so aligned with you, you actually are like, yes. This is you being victorious here. I mean, I feel like you're manifesting love from all different directions after a lot of suffering, right? And it's almost like a surprise. Surprise. The challenge is it's time for you to be happy, Sag. Really, truly, genuinely, authentically happy. And you're like, I don't know. I've had a lot of shit happen, Jenna. I don't know if I can trust on that. Well, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for you to trust in your own happiness. What you have to do in order to do that is a challenge is to trust yourself. 9 of Pentacles. That karmically speaking, this is a rebirth where you are actually coming out of an ending and you now learning how to be independent and stand strong on your own. And it's been a challenge for you. But that's why we even go through these karmic lessons to begin with. Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you value? Are you standing in your own truth? You've learned that. You've learned that the hard way. A lot of us, that's the life we live in these times. And you're learning it, okay? I think You're trying to see the light in a karmic situation and trying to recover from an ending, reclaiming your power and reclaiming your independence. And elevating to Empress level energy, calling in what looks like after a loss, maybe even a downright betrayal, something you've been waiting for a long time. Knight of Pentacles, a sure thing. Standing guard, reclaiming your power, protecting your energy. Seven of Wands. Seven of Swords in reverse. All right. With the Ace of Cups. Yeah. Wow. Sag, this is a really big shift of energy. Seven of Swords is always a sneaky, deceptive energy. Reverse. I think that you are learning how to protect your energy and you're moving slowly this time and you're being very mindful of your energy, your sovereign energy. There's a lot of growth coming in, like in every way. We're talking growth in your cup energy, growth in your heart, growth in your wealth, growth in your fire and your passion, and growth in your ideas. So there's growth on every element. That's what the Empress is. She is the embodiment of abundance. Something is coming to fruition. And it's twofold. We have two sevens here. One around guarding your energy and one around dropping a state of not trusting your path. When you don't trust your path, you will call in energies that you cannot trust. So if there's anything that you've had to deal with that has been deceptive, you're coming out of that. You're coming out of it learning why. And what does it require of you now? I think that you are holding healthy boundaries and you're slowing yourself down enough to make decisions around energies that you know aren't going to serve your Empress energy. Basically, does it align with the ways you're growing and with what you want? Sometimes, I'm getting even somebody coming back to clear the air in October. And instead of approaching it from I have got to stand guard, I can't trust this person or situation, what have you learned since the last time you interacted with this person? It could be a feminine. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be an ex. It's almost like, can you approach love not from catastrophe or ruin or betrayal or distrust, but of trusting in your own sovereign will and your own divine truth, so much so that every step of the way you're listening to what your heart is saying the entire time. Because it's when we often block what our heart is really telling us when chaos ensues. Did you act truly from your heart's integrity? Were you dealing with someone that wasn't? And if you did, there was a lesson there. I feel like you're integrating the lessons of deception and of betrayal. And it all has taught you to protect and safeguard your energy and reclaim your power and to be patient with that process because you've been going through a rebirth in your feminine, your divine feminine, which is about loving self, honoring your worth and your value at every turn. Wow, you've got two aces at the bottom. You are being lovingly held by spirit. Okay, Sag, there's a heart renewal. There's a new passionate direction you're going into in the month of October. There's a celebration. You're seeing the signs and synchronicities of a job well done. There's some sort of karmic ending here. And you coming out of this, there's a tower shakeup over your investments around your karmic journey and coming to peace with some things that have happened to you this year. There's some big choices that need to be made. I see too that whatever you don't trust that aligns with your frequency now, you're going to have to confront it and not put on a front, or someone around you's not putting on a front and confronting it. It's like, it's time to tell the truth. Let me see something here. I'm going to read you this. Work with spirit to heal blocks and uncover deeper truth. Spirit is my true source. That's between worlds. Beacon of truth. Pause and tune into your inner guidance before taking action. I choose what's right. Inner peace. This was in reverse. Cultivate inner calm through meditation or mindful practices. I let go and have faith. That's what you've had a hard time understanding. When we're in the midst of chaos, you know how hard it is to let go and have faith? No, you're actually kind of pissed. You're like, I don't agree with this. I didn't sign up for this shit. But you know what? You're looking at something, you're saying, well, actually, in hindsight, maybe it had to happen that way. Maybe I needed to. Maybe they needed that lesson. They or you, one of you, both of you. There's been some deep karmic lessons. It's time for you to cultivate inner peace and inner calm through more mindfulness practices, okay? And then we have guardian armor, which was also in reverse. Create healthy boundaries and guard against doubt and fear. I hold my sacred space. When we don't hold sacred space that protects our peace, what ensues? The Tower. There's something coming into balance, a wrong being made right this month, Sagittarius, around a deceptive energy in the past. What is this? 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. There's a letting go. The Hermit. The 2 of Cups. Wow. The Page, yeah. Apologies are going to be made. This is a heart healing, a deep heart healing. There may have been like, you know, like in some traditions, people feel like they have to go through the valley of the shadow of doubt, where they are being outcast from the tribe, or they have to have a period of isolation or silence. This could be literal, metaphorical for you. But you learn so many lessons by dwelling in the space within. There's some sort of like return to love this month. I mean, it really is a return to love after a period of loss and grief and separation. And Spirit was like, just hold on, Sag. Hold on. Because it's going to get so much better. And a lot of you lost faith along the way. But what I see here is the Hermit, the Page of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. Again, it's like help has been on the way. Maybe you had to stand really strong on your own for a while. I see a soulmate coming in. It could also be a healing with somebody that you know. Someone with heavy Virgo or water placements here. Okay. There's a need to see the truth, speak from the heart, Sag, this month, and heal and forgive. The Page of Cups is this innocent curiosity. Keeping the heart open. A youthful optimism, we'll say, around the heart. There's a lot of spiritual growth happening in your heart space. And you reconciling with a very difficult karmic pathway that you signed up for this year. And I do think there's an opportunity to forgive and heal a situation. Whether it's with your mother, with a family member, with a female friend, with somebody in your life. It could have been a male as well. But there's something, if it is a male, it's somebody whose divine feminine was so out of whack that you ended up having to nurture them to such a capacity that you lost sight of yourself. Or this was multiple men, okay? Or multiple women. Don't get caught in the gender, but whenever I see really strong hierarchy or hierarchical energy around the divine feminine, especially it relates to the Queen of Cups, because there's no king here. This is heavenly divine feminine energy of the divine mother in us all. You know, what does unconditional love mean to you? Loving without condition, loving without attachment, because attachment creates suffering. Is some sort of letting go of an attachment, letting it be what it is and honoring it. I feel like you're making peace with something in the past that felt really hard and hurtful and painful, and a healing of it, an honoring of everything that transpired. This could be a karmic closure point for you, a threshold, if you will, of integrating some deep, deep karmic lessons with another or with a group of people or with aspects of yourself where now you're no longer going to forsake parts of yourself, especially your heart. You know, this is sometimes too when we make choices and we're in situations that we are emotionally numb in, and we're not living our lives anymore that feel really enlightened by happiness and harmony. The sun is coming back out again in your life, Sag. I think after a period of darkness. All right, you're coming out of the moon energy into the sun energy. Shadow to light. Beautiful karmic energy. It's a huge shift for you. You could be having epiphanies this month. Almost laughing at the universe, at it all. Let me get a angel guide. If you've had a period of distrust over a situation or a person, I think that there's going to be an opportunity. They said pick these two are very important. These two. What are they? Surrender and forgiveness and understanding. Surrender to forgiveness and understanding. It's time to forgive the past. Okay? It's time to forgive the past. Let's look at this forgiveness and understanding. And look at this person is holding their heart open and letting love return and flow. And this person's holding their heart almost as if to say, I'm sorry too. There's an apology here and deep forgiveness. It's karmic, okay? As soon as you see the word forgiveness, you'll know where this energy is needed in your life. Forgiveness is a correction to human vision, an opportunity to see through the eyes of the soul, and ultimately gives us an idea of what it's like to see through the eyes of our angels. Whatever the situation that feels heavy on your heart right now, when this card appears, your angel guide is inviting you to release it. You aren't being asked to accept bad behavior or let it go, but to realize that the only person who's truly being affected by your unforgiving thoughts and feelings is you. You don't deserve to have past events get in the way of present happiness, and that can only happen if you make space for releasing painful experiences from your heart. So call in your angels and ask them to help you step into the energy of forgiveness. Even if you feel you don't know how to forgive, the willingness to do it will be enough. Understanding why others have committed certain acts or you yourself have made bad decisions isn't always easy. It's important to know that you are always doing the best you can with the information and tools you have. And the more you learn in life, the greater your capacity to make choices from a space of love. When this card shows up for you, it's because angels see you as worthy of fulfilling and exciting experiences. When you are dancing with the energy of forgiveness, you are on the verge of a miracle. This isn't a time to be weighed down by the past, but a time to see beyond it. Wow. Wow. See beyond the past. Wow. Let's look at surrender. Surrender is a spiritual practice, and it's not an easy one. But angels are working in your favor, and their miracles will unfold with ease when you move into a state of trust. So call back your power and stop allowing external forces to divert you from the miracles you deserve. Take time to realize that in order to be helped, you must surrender your need for control over the situation that is on your mind. Hand over your concerns and the entire situation to your spiritual allies. When you do so, you will allow angels of light to swoop in and help everything transform. If you find yourself having difficulties letting go of the reins, it's because there's a part of you that's not willing to receive the help or miracles you deserve. Hand over all of your concerns to Source and let the miracles in. If you are feeling overwhelmed or emotional at this time, your angel guide wants you to know it's okay to let go. When you open up and release your concerns, you open up to support and miracles. You are a vessel and you contain light. Yeah, it's been hard for you to see the light in what has happened. Let them go now. Sorry, your concerns are taking up space, and when you release them, you make room for more light. Let them go now. This is a time to experience the freedom that you deserve. You don't have to do this alone. Source and angels are ready to help you. Call in angels and invite them to help you surrender and release anything that could be blocking your experience of miracles. To help them usher positive energy into your life, ask yourself what you need to let go of in order to grow, and then action it. Okay, let me get you some advice. I think you've been letting go of something or someone, okay? And there is a softening, and it looks like a forgiveness and a healing going on between you and someone very special to you. This is a deep soulmate bond in your life, whoever it is. There is an apology. There's a new path forward, out of loss, into true forgiveness, Sag. Let's see. A block is being removed in your heart. Or someone else's heart. Oh, wow. We have the Devil, the Seven of Swords. Wow. Shadow and the Nine of Cups. Yeah. I think you're tiptoeing, or there's almost to be delicate with the situation. You're moving out of a period of looking at either a trauma bond or toxic traits. Shadow. mostly I'm getting you having a period where there was a lot of moving from a place through life, from a place of fear. Fear, doubt, insecurity is really what the devil represents if you really want to be focusing on your own healing work. But this also could be someone you were dealing with that they were embodying fear, doubt, and insecurity. All right. And what does that ensue? It ensues so many trust issues when people start operating from fear, doubt, and insecurity. And the more you grow in your own sovereign energy and you love self, there's no room for fear, doubt, and insecurity. You look at it as a passing tide. It just flows right through you. Oh, there's fear. Hi. Not going to own me today. See you later, my friend. You know, it's that simple, but it's so hard. Okay. So I see that's like, it's time to wave at fear, doubt, and insecurity and not let it own you or grip you, and trust your path. All right. There's a lot of enlightenment coming in, deep, deep spiritual work around your emotions, letting go of the past, right? Forgiving and finding fulfillment once more, inner fulfillment. All right. Take care, you all. Namaste.